Hi students. So in today's session we are going to discuss about what are foreign exchange exposures and what are foreign exchange risks are. And this topic already we have discussed in the contact class, and those who couldn't attend the contact class refer this video. Okay. See, there are three types of foreign exchange exposure or foreign exchange risk we are going to discuss in today's session along with the next session. Those three exposures are termed as one is translation risk, another one is transaction risk, and another one is operating or economic risk, which the operating and economic risk we are going to discuss in next session. So the term exposure and the risk. See, risk can be identified or defined as the deviation from what you expect and the actual outcome. It can be considered as risk because if you anticipate 90% in some exam and if you get only 60 marks, the deviation between your anticipation and the actual result can be considered as risk, and that risk arises because you have not put the entire effort which your anticipation requires. Fine, but in the foreign exchange context, please note down each and everything. I hope you can see what I have written on green board. Fine, because very important from some point of view also. So exposure, the volatility or the fluctuation of foreign currency against domestic currency which may result in business gain or loss. Focus on these two words. What I have written? The fluctuation of the foreign currency against the domestic currency, or the fluctuation of dollar against Indian rupee, which causes, see, you are an exporter or importer from US. You have a trade relationship with US. Assume that you you import something from US and you export something from US. Then you are exposed to the fluctuation of dollar against rupee. Fine. If that fluctuation results in business gain or loss, the fluctuation which results in both business gain or business loss can be considered as forex exposure. So that means you are a foreign trader, you are the trader who involved in multinational currency transaction. So you are exposed to the fluctuation or volatility of the foreign currency, which results in business gain or loss is considered as foreign exchange exposure. If that fluctuation, if the same volatility of the foreign currency against your domestic currency results in loss, results in transaction loss or result which results in business loss to you, then that fluctuation is considered as risk. So risk is only loss and exposure is both gain or loss due to volatility or fluctuation of the foreign currency against your domestic currency. So please do remember they may ask in your SEM exam that briefly explain how foreign exchange exposure is different from foreign exchange risk. So the main difference is foreign exchange exposure. It is the fluctuation of foreign currency against your own, that is the domestic currency, which results in either business gain or loss. Is termed as exposure. That means you are exposed to the fluctuation of foreign currency against your home currency. And foreign exchange risk can be defined. See, again, they may ask these individual for 2 marks. 2 marks for exposure and 2 marks for they may ask for foreign exchange risk. So the risk is the fluctuation of foreign currency which results in your business loss. So risk always termed as business loss, and exposure it may result in both gain or loss. And in these three types of foreign exchange exposure, they ask for 15 marks. Briefly explain foreign exchange exposures and its hedging techniques. Those hedging techniques we are going to discuss in next few sessions. But in today's session, we are going to discuss two types of exposures among all the three. One is translational exposure. See, translation exposure deals with the net worth of the company. Net worth is nothing but owner's fund. You may know the formula. I hope you know the formula for net worth, the calculation of net worth. Fine. See what happens if the Wipro Limited, an Indian company, I think you can't see there. See, if Wipro Limited starts its branch office in US or Texas in the year of 2010. So it has bought land and building for $100. Since Wipro is an Indian company in the sense the company which is having its headquarter in India or which is having its registered office in India is called as Indian company. It has to submit its entire financial transaction, which includes the branch office situated at US also. Fine. So this $100 land and building which Wipro has acquired in the year of 2010 at the rate of $100, while submitting its financial statement to the Ministry of Company Affairs in India, or which should be published audit report in Indian newspaper, it has to translate its entire business, entire financial transaction into the rupee. So in the year of 2010, exchange rate was $1 is equals to rupee 50, an assumption. So while translating for $100, it has become rupees 5,000. 100 into rupees 50 in the year of 2010. So according to the accounting concept, we know that everything should be recorded at their book value. Book value of the land and building in the year of 2010 was $100. While translating it to Indian rupee or domestic currency, we have translated at that rate, the rate which was in the year of 2010, that is rupees 50 per dollar, we have translated balance sheet into rupees land and building into 5,000. But in the year of 2020, the land and building is recorded at its book value itself, that is $100, but today's exchange rate is 70 rupees. According to the 70, if you consider 70 rupee, the land and building we have to mention in financial transaction as rupees 7,000, which is far greater than that of its book value. So now, what we have to do, we have to consider that today's 2010's exchange rate or today's or current exchange rate. That is the biggest challenge all the multinational companies faces. If you translate like this or translate like this, it directly impacts the net worth of the company. Net worth of the company means total assets. So net worth is equals to total asset minus other liabilities, or liabilities other than equity shareholders fund is called as net worth of the company. That means in the total asset we have to deduct all the outside liabilities, or those liabilities apart from other than equity shareholders fund is called as net worth of the company. Fine. This translation risk directly impacts on the net worth of the company. Fine. That is why it is considered as accounting exposure, because it has its direct impact on the balance sheet of the company, that is called net worth or translation exposure. So translational or accounting exposure, because of the fluctuating foreign currency, it may positively or negatively impact on the net worth or owner's fund of the company, even though assets and liabilities are recorded at their book value, while translating into domestic currency, value of the balance sheet may differ. If the current period net worth is, that means in the year of 2010's financial statement, if the current net worth is lesser than previous years, that is 2019 net worth, it is considered as translation risk. If it is more than 2019, it is considered as translation exposure, because the net worth gain is there. So it is called as translational risk or exposure. For 2 months, you have to remember this thing. What do you mean by translation risk or translational exposure? And the second type of risk is transactional exposure. The sensitivity of the home currency value of all the transactions, excuse me, all the transactions which included or which are denominated in foreign currency. Transactions which are denominated in foreign currency may subject to unanticipated change in exchange rate. See, say for example, if you have sold $100 worth chalk piece or $1 worth chalk piece today, and the payment is supposed to be after 3 months. See, today you have sold this chalk piece in the country of US at the rate of $1, but that $1 you will get after 3 months. Today's exchange rate is rupees 70, and according to today's exchange rate, you have sold chalk piece worth 70 rupees. If 3 months later, as of a sudden, rupee appreciates and the exchange rate becomes $1 is equals to rupees 60, then you lost 10 rupees if you compare today's rate after 3 months. That loss or that fluctuation is considered as transaction because transaction has taken place today, but it completes after 3 months. Within that span of time period, the value of the currency is fluctuated and your transaction got affected. That is why it is called as transactional risk. So all those business transactions which are dominated in foreign currency may subject to unanticipated change in exchange rate, and transactional exposure measures gain or loss that arises from the settlement of existing financial obligation for which return is stated in foreign currency. That means all those foreign transactions which are on credit basis, purchases, sales, borrowing and lending, etc., which are denominated in foreign currency are subject to transactional risk. And which are the reasons for transaction risk we are going to discuss in next session. Thank you.